you have to do your research before you get into this business, and you have to have an understanding of what the learning curve looks like, and how trading itself even works. Trading is very, very difficult, especially when you're first getting started, because you don't know anything about anything yet. And the thing about trading, when you work in a game of probabilities, that inherently means that sometimes you're going to do all the right things and lose money, and sometimes you're going to do all the wrong things and make money. And that makes it even especially difficult for a new trader, because let's say it's your, I don't know, third ever day trading, and you do everything right and you lost money, and that's just because that's how the probability worked. Well, you just reinforce in your brain that those are all the wrong things to do. And the opposite can happen as well. So one is just to come in with the right mentality when you're getting started in the business. This is not some sort of get rich quick scheme. There's a very large, very long learning curve that you're going to have to work your way through in order to become successful. And you have to recognize your goal as a new trader is to develop your edge. It's to develop your game plans. It's to develop your strategies, and recognize that that's a process that's going to take minimum 6 months, absolute minimum 6 months to get confident with and to build that stuff out. And then from that point, I think it's really at that point that the real psychological issues actually start to come into play for a lot of people. The most frustrating thing for many traders that I speak to is when they actually feel like they've learned enough and they know the right things and they know how to make money, yet they still can't do it because, as soon as they see that there is a negative P&L on their screen, they start doing all the wrong things. Or as soon as they see that there's positive P&L on their screen, they, immediately liquidate all their positions. So I think that the biggest counter to bad trading psychology, and this also goes back to building confidence, is to develop really good game plans, and then to have the discipline to be able to follow those game plans consistently over time. So develop a game plan for every single trade that you get in, and let the results just be what they will be. Absorb that data, make small adjustments to those game plans based on what that data tells you. And that's how improvement comes along. And then, finally, the biggest boost to confidence, obviously, is just making money. And that can almost be dangerous in and of itself. We have a little expression that we use in my VTF sometimes, which we call being profit drunk, which is actually when you're doing so well, you're making so much money that you start trading very poorly because, and this has definitely happened to me, I'm on a streak, I'm doing really well, I'm making money. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm invincible. Like I'm Midas, everything I touch turns to gold. So I start getting sloppy. I will be a little bit looser with my decisions, or I'll be a little bit too greedy, or I won't follow the game plan as well. So it's a constant process, I think, of development throughout a trader's career to build confidence. But I think that just having one, appropriate expectations, and two, having a strong focus on game planning development and following those game plans is going to be the real key to countering most bad psychology that you will encounter as a trader over time.
Okay, JR, I'll toss it to you with a little bit of a twist. Like, do you think it's healthy if a trader comes in, let's say at the bottom of the market, and makes a ton of money? Do you think that's good or bad for their long-term development?
Well, first of all, I want to start going before Derrick, because we should let the dumber people go first. So that's my first comment there. No, just kidding. Obviously, Derrick said all the things I was thinking about, and he was right on point.
You just have to win one of the competitions first, and then we can get you to answer the questions first.
That's right. All right. I'm gonna Rambo up next time. Here's what I tell my traders. Okay, if you want to make lots of money quickly, okay, open up a hot dog stand or go into investment banking. All right, this is a multi-year ramp up. Human beings are not wired to run toward risk. They're not wired to maintain total behavioral, emotional, and cognitive homeostasis while losing money. Okay, we're wired to run as far and fast away from the fire and the predator and everything else as possible, and it takes a substantial amount of time to build that behavioral skill to the point where you can actually keep it together while seeing your P&L go red or green. And they're both equally perilous if you're not properly conditioned to that. It's a multi-year project for sure. I totally agree with Derrick on that. And what makes it even more challenging, I call this the Plato's cave syndrome. I'm sure you guys know the Plato allegory about the cave, right? People spend their lives in the cave and they can't see the outside world. They only see shadows. And trading for novices is very much a similar endeavor, right? Sometimes you win when you take bad trades, and you lose when you make good trades. And you really are sort of stuck in this cave without understanding what a good trade looks like, and more importantly, what your edge is in the market. Okay, I have 3 different sort of mission tracks for my traders. One, and the least important of which, is technical analysis. Okay, like they have to develop technical skills. The second, and very, very important, is risk and money management. You can't succeed in this business if you don't manage risk. And then finally, through time and effort and a ton of time before and after the market closes. And I tell my guys all the time, guys, you're gonna make your bones as a trader, not during market hours, okay? But after the market closes, you're gonna sift through the rubble of your days, and you're going to figure out what your edge in the market really looks like. And that's it. The number one mission of a novice trader is to find their edge in the market. And without that, it's very difficult to succeed. So, to go back to your question, Michael, I think years like 2020 really actually ended up hurting a lot of traders. It created a lot of Dunning-Kruger syndrome, like a massive sort of mass Dunning-Kruger psychosis, where everybody thought they were Peter Lynch or something. And in reality, it was just a very, very crowded market with retail traders, so money was plentiful and easy to make. So beginner's luck, I think, can be a great hampering effect to any novice trader.
Okay, Sami. So I've heard Sami's story a million times. How he turned like 15,000 into 50, and then lost 65,000. So Sami's like a very rational, logical guy. So what made you say, I want to keep doing this?
You're hooked. I mean, you get the trading bug and you're hooked. It's like one of those door-to-door salesmen. Once they get their foot in the door, it's not coming out. So I got the trading bug, and also because I'm very driven as a person. Once I feel like I'm defeated, there's no way I'm just gonna keep going until I figure it out. So that's basically, that was my psychology at the time. Now, to comment a little bit more further on what Derrick and JR said, totally agree with everything they said. I think when you come into this business, the thing to do is to not have any expectations. Because this way, if you don't have any expectations and you come in with an open mind, a lot of people that come into this business, they have a lot of money, so they were already successful in their other career or whatever. So they think, well, I'm a doctor, I'm a PhD, I run a whole department, I'm a multimillionaire. So they think they can do it because they were already successful, and that's the first mistake. So you don't want to have any expectations. You don't want to think, oh, look at me. No, you want to come in with an open mind and just learn, like be open to learning. If you think you know, then you're not going to learn, obviously. So you want to come to the market with there's a great book that I read many, many years ago called Zen's Mind, Beginner's Mind. So you come with the market with a beginner's mentality. And then the other thing is, sure, sometimes it takes a while to get the hang of it, multi-year, 6 months, who knows for sure. As you know, Mike, James in the room, and my co-moderator in the room, James Young, he attended the mentorship with me in June of 2019. By October, I already brought him on as a moderator. By March of 2020, he already had his first $40,000 month. He shares his P&L on YouTube and his channel. Is an open book, and he never had a losing month ever since then. So people ask me all the time, how long will it take me? 3 months, 3 years, who knows? It'll take you as long as it will take you. But if you give it your best, then you've given it your best. If you don't give it your best and it doesn't work out, then you will never know whether you actually could have made it in this business but didn't give it your best, or you could have, you will never find out, basically. So my suggestion is to always come in with an open mind, be very inquisitive, really wanting to learn, and then focus on the process, not the outcome. So you focus on what's under your control, not the outcome, especially in the beginning, because the outcome is usually not pretty in the beginning. You're not going to make money. And so you can't be thinking, oh, I'm not making money, it means I'm not making progress. No, you are. You're making progress in terms of, at a conceptual level, you're acquiring a lot of knowledge, but you don't have the skill set or the experience to apply that knowledge yet. So in the beginning, you cannot be focusing on the P&L, which is why we suggest trading very, very small size in the beginning, or paper trading. But really, in a commission-free environment, you don't need to paper trade. You could trade with 1 share and wouldn't cost you anything almost. But this way, you have some skin in the game. You get some, your emotions, you get the emotions involved. And then, of course, you want to approach it in a very rational, objective way. So meaning you really want to figure out what it is that you want to do. Do you want to day trade? Do you want to scalp? Do you want to hold positions overnight? What is it that suits you, suits your schedule, your personality? And then figure out a way to trade in a very rational, objective way that you can repeat, that you can repeat on day in and day out. So if you do all of this, then, and you have the determination and the perseverance and the mentality of never giving up, I don't see how you couldn't make it. I mean, I'm not promising anything, but because this doesn't require us to be smart or be, mathematically oriented or be really good with computers or any of that stuff. All it requires is an open mind and, of course, love for the game, which drives, gives you that drive and determination. But also, so an open mind, but also some objectivities, being rational, objective, reasonable as a person. Are you reasonable? Or are you always shooting for the stars? It's not going to happen in trading. If you're reasonable, rational, and you have the drive, you're open to, you come to the market like a parachute, only functions when it's open. So then the sky's the limit, truly.